these kind of a conferences should serve. We are discussing now that the inordinate delays which take place in our real estate projects, how does it impact the real estate industry and the customers in particular. We know that even while the natural laws we have been able to master, the man-made laws we are not being able to master, and we have to go in round and round and round and round, and that is where probably the graft related issues also can be discussed and debated. This kind of an inordinate delays in grant of clearances for projects by various departments are impeding the growth of the real estate sector. In 2011, Doing Business, a report by the World Bank and International Finance Corporation, ranked India at 177 out of 183 countries with respect to dealing with construction permits. And in 2012, we need not be surprised, the same report ranked India 181 out of 183, which speaks a lot about how things have deteriorated, thereby hampering the whole real estate environment in India. On many occasions, industry bodies like NAREDCO, CREDAI, FICCI, CII, and several others have appealed for single window clearances of real estate projects. Although a few cities like Pune, Hyderabad, Mysore, Indore, etc. have taken initiatives to expedite project clearances, a lot more has to be done. As far as the government is concerned, a committee was appointed by the Ministry of Urban Development to streamline approval procedures for real estate projects, and it has submitted a report on the same in the November. Mr. Dhanendra Kumar, chairman of this committee on streamlining approval procedures for real estate projects, along with his team, has prepared a report, and we await the feedback on the same. Currently, as all of us are aware, that a realtor has to seek approvals from many departments. It can stretch to 30 or 40 in number depending on the location of the projects. To name a few, they are the National Highway Authority of India, Fire Department, Pollution Department, Ministry of Environment, Electricity Department, Airport Authorities, Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Mines, Ministry of Telecom, Department of Revenue, Central Groundwater Board, Director General Civil Aviation, Water and Sewerage Department, Metro Railways, etc., etc. The delay in granting approvals leads to a substantial escalation of our project cost. Should the process be simpler and uniform, the cost per unit of real estate project is expected to come down by 15 to 20% and will be required to carry a much lesser inventory of our land bank, and we can pass on all such benefits to our esteemed customers. Those who violate the law can definitely be punished, but the process needs to be a fast-track one so that the benefit can be passed. To facilitate the development of the real estate sector, the government should also set up a single point agency which can help in procuring land and aid the plan approval process. The government can leverage on technology to connect the flow of information across departments. The process that needs to be removed, simplified, or delegated can be examined and reviewed. There is a need to consolidate and streamline building laws at national and state levels. The government needs to bring in transparency, predictability, and accountability to protect consumer interest. We hope that a real estate regulatory authority is being created now will bring more transparency into the system. Enactment of the real estate regulation bill will be a step in that direction, and it will recognize the true worth of our Indian real estate industry. The Act can help in standardizing practices and streamlining most of the government procedure systems. It can also help bring about a greater level of trust between buyers and sellers, landowners and developers, and also developers and the financial institutions that fund them. Other measures like stringent guidelines for the Ministry of Environment and Forests, definition of height zones, removal of FAR, introduction of land reforms, rationalization of taxes, and removal of restrictive banking provisions would also go a long way in rationalizing the housing sector. Without taking much of your time, I wish this conference a great success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma. I would now request Colonel Gupta, Executive Director, Taneja Developers and Infrastructure Limited, and he's going to talk about a very interesting topic, which I'm sure most of the developers would be interested in knowing, that is possibilities for fast-track clearances of real estate project. So here we have Colonel Gupta for you. Thank you.
If you permit me, ladies and gentlemen, I'll speak while sitting. Naveen sir, I have your permission? Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and the very important persons on and off stage. It's indeed an honor for me to be addressing this august gathering at Vigyan Bhavan, and I'm also grateful to Mr. Ravindra Taneja, my Vice Chairman, for letting me stand in his place. I have penned down some random thoughts, which I hope, through them, I hope to agitate your minds and bring in some radical changes. Since this is an afternoon session post-lunch, and for some of you siesta time, I've kept my points very, very simple and at a very, very light note. Ladies and gentlemen, the World Bank identified 152 developing countries in 2007, of which it is reported 1 out of 3 people are without adequate shelter. United Nations Habitat is working to lower the statistics through the provision of low-cost, sustainable building materials and technologies, while committing to the agenda adequate shelter for all. Access to safe and healthy shelter and basic services is recognized as essential to a person's physical, psychological, social, and economic well-being, and should be a fundamental part of our urgent actions for the millions of people in the country without decent living conditions. Last year, NAREDCO's theme was affordable housing, and this year it's sustainable housing. But let me ask you, can sustainable and affordable are any different from each other? They are, if you go into the nuances of the words exactly, but basically the two are the two sides of the same coin. While providing housing for masses, we have not only to keep the cost low, that is to make the house affordable, but also use the latest construction techniques. And as we understand, we have some very interesting construction techniques available these days, not only to hasten up the construction, but also to make them sustainable.